Jumedie ewo Nits 100.9. What's yet the Torchlight Jumedie ewo Nits 100.9. What's yet the Torchlight Jumedie ewo Nits 100.9.
It's FM.
Jerry OSEI AGYEMAN etnasi ewo the Torchlight Jumedie ewo Nits 100.9. Na wonim say ebuna den numre ya wa den numre 7:30 bia radio so ayede political show adesua wo political show emudo Mark Jerry and the Torchlight ayese epon ene mpontre. What's yet the Torchlight Jumedie ewo Nits 100.9. What's yet the Torchlight Jumedie ewo Nits 100.9.
FM.
Yes,
The Torchlight Jumedi Ewo Neat 100.9.
Jamo kwa ba de bandit 100.9 ene anumre ene se wo hye eye wo calendar no so a ene date no eye 11th November 2025 11/11/25 itimu amoya de on numbers ho amutimi de twa lotu die ene date ni 11/11/25 yatena se ayede Ghana ensem ebre wana anumre jumede ye fe ne Torchlight yeto ne de ahwe yensem agodo a ekoso my Ghana mo enne ena eye Captain Fojo obomodia ede reporter National Security Council womo esubmit ma Ghana mampanyin de eye consumable de ma the general public womo de babetu yenim efa eye ewiem hyen akwanhia esiye bosome kakra ntam ne enam so ma abemu mpanyifo binom eto anananom ewon siedo womo de report no aba betu yenim a woma kire eye noama na egwom akwanhia no ne tofa bomu no ewiem a na enye papa ewiem a na yokusu ewiem a na egbo asi eno ene ma akwanhia ne siye na ewiem nye eno ene ma akwanhia no esiye enti akwakoba ne sei ni de womo sign at the recommendations at the tudwa womo de nsamakodo eka ho de ese yeye eye equipment bi a ese fata se asrafo wiem hyan a womo de enam wiem asrafo wiem hyan bonframa a ye fa ne helicopter enama enoma bi a etese nke ka ho a ebetimi aboa ama se atoyina chembi mpo na ebeto sa eye wiemhyen na yetima soso ano womo de ho recommendations nyina aba enti enanwumre na yebisa dia ene Captain Fojo ede aba betu yenim enhwehwemu a sa investigative team ye womo wurawura meduadua womo ne manfo kra ewo bia ya abrofo edu bia ya wiemhyen koteto ye no womo de omodi nkomo a womo de aba betu yenim ayade bibi wo ho a asoman no etese ye no enemanim ya de titiri efa asrafo wiemhyen eho ana sa wiemhyen na ya mampanyi kura timitinem sa wiemhyen na aya na ya mampanyifo ebi timitinem enam so ebi kotinem a ekofa atode nkyem baaye na said your kan de osi enemanim ya ye hia modernized wiemhyen ejese ye hia wiemhyen a eya abefo a ya sojafo ebetimi ya yuso enti enesensemin ababetodwa ena kro na so ebedi MPP mo nkomo se MPP eno ma ekosen MPP dia ekoso parliament because when him say parliamentarians are wamujina MPP ticket so a Ghana fo emu bi ato abaye de ama oma womodo parliament ho no womo babre ebe di term 2028 elections because mo MPP for mo ti opposition na motere mo ntiri keke o Ghana yabakwasem mu amanyokuo bi lusu poto tantantan said the MPP mulusu poto eye 2024 elections ATN the akwaso parliament the akwaso MPP internal matters se munima eye ade a Ghana fo behwe ho na so omde beto aba mama omde ato aba mama eye 2028 eti the akwaso mrahye badwafie MPP mrahye badwafo a wo mo mrahye badwafie ho no suba omoda nadi anamontu a wo mutu wo ho no bepache koyie de ma wana as a party a walusu enyesa wulusu yo ulusu poto because say MPP before ni wakra parliament betuma ye adwuma etina che say mo loss no na ntwa yie na party a goma lusu say no omo bebre suba omo da na di led by Osahene Ora Alexander Fenyo Market me pa che koyi ana koyi iti na ye bedi hu komo mene MPP ni mapa e ba betena se na yabo MPP mu nkomo dey beside say the party no wo share internal party elections and now say the flag bearership position as say ye kan MPP for hwe ani mu say won be pa wo bia obetum frank ade ama party no 2028 ni amene ne ba beka say ono de minim so Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia camp but generally no ohwe suban a wo mo da nadi said their campaign e kwa enoma ekosen omuni say you suban bi o mo da nadi because Ghana ni a ono no onye MPP delegate ono de abato obre no so a obeka kwato abasa da mimiti goi ohwe musuban ni din owia no aba be twen NDC fo wamoso am internal matters said won be da wom ho adi no ahwe ni din no de inform the decision e ka hu bi no de inform the decision no ma hwe say 2028 why na me kwa kwato abade ama no eti sa party akakraka fuo ya womadi yeso yi kire say yenim say womani abiri Ghana fu etese me ono do ohwe pete takrem no the informing decision no womoche though the performance of this current government ebedi him because they say yakwa anim ye hwe abai performance said ya no ameko eno so bedi him paagie na enso suban obeda na di ewo mo internal elections mu no eno so ye ni tua ye hwe de ombe inti eno nso eto sen inti ana nwumre ebedi nkomo mene aya engineer Entwebu Asiakon oye member of the New Patriotic Party na ene ofia ha ye ba bedi nkomo e dia form ene mu ne ye di nkomo e dia form party mu ne ye di nkomo e dia fa parliament se o mra je bedwafo no suban no mo da ne di no ekoyie e wo ho ana most especially Sir Justice Bafuboni womo decide say won betena veti ni mu bi na womo view say womo express na ekoba say views na womo express no womo atimidi tell say atmosphere ni favorable and until one be work it out woman boycott because they were part of the process so they will stage a walkout and womo work it out ekoye na yebisa say sa walkout and is it necessary say womo work it out led by the minority leader eti eyenkoma yebedi ene enwumre me twa enu say yenua nso a obefri ndisi mu aba no oba beka ye ho Abdullahi Sakra why na waka chem say waso anu so omra no Monfra Abdullahi kan je say me twa me dey the luxurious Agyeman Mary Aseda ma me channel manager friend Kwesi Aboaje the darling boy Dr. Faradek now your executive producer fully supported by my general manager Kennedy Asante Osei. Na me dia said that Eddie ama wa utie me. Ebi bia wo bia. Me mo akwabo. Eddie Bennett 100 points. Na Okokroko Francis my studio assistant. Ono so obo mi chidom. Ewa engineers. Achu agboni na na jare na boaje. Onso bedamase. Se mo chinchi me fidie no. Ada Sankroma oye in charge of the electrical CD. Let us say bibia edem yopo kama. Ayedi jumedie. Yede bre we na anwumre. Aya na edu anwumre say ya. Me de na so obeko Facebook. Now wo comment bia wo de ato ho. Facebook na meta kenkan me messages. Idru eye torchlight. Inti woko eye Facebook no so a na wo comment bia na wo de ato ho. Na wo de to ha na yahwe. Ya kenkan ye 100.9 FM. Neat 100.9 FM. Into for comment no for go Facebook no so. Na yahwe yetimi akenkan ede amount. Engineer entry buesi akon atenase. Yeno no edi enkomo. Neat 100.9 esuniye. Engineer, yamo ajo.
McJerry, Mejoso.
Now bomb to say.
I think I'm okay. I'm very much okay. So,
all right.
Yes. So what's wrong with you there?
Yeah, nyako pandom. Yami adom boko. Oda che. That's a we share program so say at.
Ache although you shisha or around.
Yeah, corner.
So one-on-one programs ache papa.
Ache.
Bibi ekoye. Me ojidi say won so.
Oh yes, nyako pandom.
Yeah, that was.
Yami adom. All right. My menje view sene Captain Fojo presentation or yamaye reporter investigative team efa wiembon frama asrafo wiembon frama ya ekotehwe ya reho a de boy ene nsama efirimo de aba bad weather do wiemhyen no amiate ase se wiemhyen a enye se ntimintu flyable se da broni beka no timitu ma ne yeye na mom na akade bi wo ho a yakwa yenim no asrafo wiemhyen sa na se etimi nyade ka ho na etimi aboa no ma yebeto odwa say na etedema report imu se
yo McJerry come back out dame we tan o dame program unti yo awie minya kwan etie presentation na oye no although na oye no visual ana omo ewo TV hono na omo hwe but na metika mu anunti mitie na omo sene a OC presenting no na eba radio no so no nti na mani enam de ekakai say ahai na wodro na o show kire wo no but I think say first of all man now your presentation no he was very technical. He knows his stuff. The guy is very knowledgeable. I listened to him and I says, okay, this is a very knowledgeable guy who knows what he was talking about. Na mitia owie you know. There was a lot of repetition at the beginning, no, or repeating na me feel say na necessary. Na owie no asema me kai nyina ne say.
Yeah.
Ghana ye military any yen safety ewo senesi ye niema ho no yaka kire wo niema bebree mu. In fact, I was worried when he said say helicopter na ekotito ye no a lot of safety gadgets bebree wo ho na ebinim it is the machine yede fa yen number one gentleman of the country me tese sa ayinu kra nanka president e kontro mu bi ana say mpanimfo a ka ho minister akse na normally ede fa wo mo ekọ ba bia wo mo kọ and some of the journalists ombusa very important questions time I can say flight no na enam wiem no na weather no enye de but omo enhwehwe mu kire se na e wo soro pa na all of a sudden eteba form na eteba form no omo hu de ntia was so sa na etiba from sa. And no today no you the entire basa. And I feel so OSEI I can't say. Baby na plane nam no na ni radar so you bet me who say plane no aha na adru and aha na adru. And I was worried a bit because although helicopter to me for baby but
na nya baby na be fa what the mainstream radar so
yes but no matter what it is the civil aviation any system in Ghana should be able to detect wherever you see in system in Ghana all the corners of this country the moment a flight be free baby abewura yen zone musi ape baby a flight nam bia ye monitor ye hu enti say country bi person betri ye so a the moment I obedru yen zone impo say wo te play mu na wo betwam afa yen country esoro ho na wo ko bia etwa say o ma ye hu de enti a wo ba betwam akọ so that's it so I was taken aback and I was worried say o can say baby no monam no na omuntimi monitor ehu baby no monam and I feel so they okay ya me worried bio enso say the equipment was actually due for maintenance na they postponed the maintenance for reason one can reason say postpone it
but I say acceptable in the practice
yeah
so be our car bit my due for maintenance when the main rush
there must be a very good reason in fact yeah what adibia friend say what engineering mono yeah what adibia friend say planned preventive maintenance so planned preventive maintenance no yeah idea they check assets yeah they maintaining asset enti our program why you say the first 3 months these are the things I need to check on the equipment the 6 monthly these are the things I need to check on the equipment and yearly these are the things I need to check on the equipment enti a plan thing say ekoba say 6 monthly ni duru ho and I say a yearly maintenance ni duru ho na say one to me anya there must be a very very good reason bia na production bia order bia ba as e breaki sa production na ebe hadwin and I say before the time na twa say maintenance no there was some catastrophe bia abesi anunti say ka say ye be maintenance na atwa so na ya shut down power wabra ebe affecting the output and also so it me am I twentwen so and na omo be maintenance no expert no say BBC na so omuntumi ma etwa say ma advance notice send sentiment ma so there must be a very good reason say plane and nam so you tune da bia o hwe say na musi maintaining omo flight na omo ye no hourly omo ye no so maintaining na enam wiem for 60 hours 100 hours 150 hours until eno na omo de maintaining say maintaining flight ni wia etwa sese na yesi a maintain ya hwe na ewo mu nyina bibia ye kama no say tune na wiem a ebetima nante wiem sa more than 100 hours abra ensi from na se fuel wo ma ebetimi IS adwuma no abra enko the next maintenance you see the essence of maintenance and he say to be able to identify issues before they lead to catastrophe. That is the essence. Because machine and Amsterdam, so many, moving parts. It me wear out. And I'm saying it me wear out. And all the time, just all your checks. Now identify say a hard way, a dear way, say na AC wear. No, it's no woman. Say it will lead to a sudden, a sudden failure. So a sudden failure, no could see it can affect, anything, and it can lead to death. Anubi, and you can hear helicopter. Now, Oshana, there were a lot of things, and they didn't want to go into details. So, Senia Osika say, Obibusan said, what is it? Flight in a blast was so, and Sana Ebeshe from. thought they say and this ni women organizer be
and na I think say honorable combo do you ana
there was I think that the high commissioner to UK also one lady
I'll
can't say information said the helicopter actually blasted in the air before it got down. And Papa Neka say actually one more so much say enya sign see na o hwe babia fuel tank no ewo babia passengers na tena anu nti say e kohwe fom ansa na a cause effect on the fuel ansa na blast and I say plane it is contrary to information I no earlier. If that is not the case there, then I think say the person who actually put that information out say or were away say a helicopter no it will be na day bibi ko shemu. In fact, what can say impo a opposition for NPP for and omo a pair say omo disa nyambrasam no e de egu Jomama animase na omo de impo bomb ne kwehye mu na omo to sa bomb na I think say sa niema we na efiri mu ba ye nyina no xenophobic can sem bia and also creative fear and panic it say etimi frɛ we say we should lift our politics in our country we no to a level obia mie na no enkan sem bia keke emfangu oman hu fi oman mpanifo hu fi ene omo opponent hu fi. It was a very serious tragedy. A day, arehoto Ghana Nibia so. Microphone so far home. I can't sing be. But the presentation of actually brings the finality to suspicion and microphone in our war. Almost say the black box na they will almost 2 years now. They couldn't access information also into so many called China. Na China manufacturing company na a year plane no omo ko hu omo na omutimi edicode nsema woso ama omutimi yomo analysis. I think say there's not much we can say, but the fact say we had experts ewo Ghana ha sa helicopter yi yesi etono say 2015 ho baby na anya 3 years ene ekotoye you told 10 years atwam abapumene report no say some safety gadgets bi ho nim etwa sen kasa nyema nyina no mpo yekoto bae no yebetumi edi ahyem na se atorenchem se bi ebesi atimi adetect na aka kire pilot no na wohu ne ochoye ansakra na instant BSc because one of the journalists ebusai said and near safety gadgets na woman say sensors na woman na ebe mi ehu say whether no wanim enye say wokosoro pa ebetimi ama unhu wanim bebre enu nti pilot no be ha say oba from no take level na wotimi adivert in way was say de ne binim so me I suspect say the omo kan weda no ho asem no say na onam suru bebre no hu say onhu nanim bio
so that's about from the manually
manually and I think say changing so drastically and I'm say a gene in some on say onam inflamamu and what changing manually all of a sudden from that height coming down to level I obehu anim no and I'm say a passes high and a gene in some and a cohefo. I think that is what happened. Although the report says the pilot and then Captain Omono, they are all experienced people. We can't doubt qualification on the aircraft plane. No. But I think the experts at the military or the armed forces, they have been they have done the service to the country. They knew about the need for the safety gadgets in the plane.
But safety gadgets, no share explanation ana or the ma. Almost a video ni a fly man ye. It's a car. Na be a collision sensor in him. collision sensor will call reverse na a prompt and now what you overtaking be no many idea collision sensors and a prompt but it be nim it doesn't mean say car into minko
it makes me but it helps a walk driver no Emma when he bow who so when be home
okay
because then say na me ko baby and na panyi bi frame say we hear information be na information no me ka say me ko transfer it take me about 24 hours na it was say me timi ko pe bibi quickly na me koturu baby a me didi no me reverse say Paul bi simachi me just my pressure me na gban na me you see so but when if we had the sensor
collision sensor
yeah at
the moment
stop get me stop at once me car back say obi be cross animu stop at once those things are very important until so when am wiem na say weather nya it will detect at long distance na catch us say when him in the next 5 minutes time what the now on say that here so take this route na amount once I want to flight me because na me free UK ba and I've never experienced that in British Airways I don't know one no take flight me no about 1.5 months ago
oh okay
na you true baby no na say what no nye and na you who say I plane was so you know amount for you I know British Airways. I've never experienced that in the British Airways. So I said, and I feel me who say, oh shit. I use one. Me normally to play my video now. Baby, I see sequel. Na utim say a page ni ti e so pan. E kwa ye go san yes stable. And I feel you can say you know I'm red no be at me you know the seat belt. So I say so they detect it and then now ma a different route. Na omode ko ade wo wiema wontumi enzo wontumi
wiema de say BBC wo ho
a say nzo fa wunyam pata na wanya homa
so kwa de we ye obi ye we kwa so
we like you know obi kwa timi be so na so de the safety gadget na esen ka wo mu no almost say those things should have been in and we have been using this flight for the past 10 years. Nobody has made a recommendation. That is worrying. I mean, I'm talking as an engineer.
Okay.
These safety equipment. War machine machine no a rotating machine. When you crowd and you say rotating machine a stationary and I say a form and the remo and until and my woman it just say it just condition. At least it will alert the pilot to take some fast decision, swift decision in changing the direction at all call. Also been him and baby no na so intimi checking or radar. So I think certain things we need to improve. Ghana military ya boy abaso say so mo ya de no but this one pa dear in fact and then Mateo Max super Mateo the guy
for instance say said ya wokan no flight bia no epedia ne mo a ade a air controllers no omokasa onam radar no so ana okwa oduru baby e say oja obe approach will be airspace bia or communicate and only a flight and na mainstream radar no so but where ye instance ye ni instrument ebe communicate with flight every baby to say in crime no kobo ase obetima na mainstream no so ba said ya no eji o branch free radar no so a consumer instrument be no obetima communicate with the flight on real time as somebody here can you
see so Mark radio we are talking about military helicopter Ghana ha yen security
okay it's not say your pesika
exactly
regardless of baby I say
sir route na can wasam if we are talking about commercial flight they are supposed to go through approved route but this is helicopter military they have the right to move to anywhere at any instant so their system is different from the normal one aviation for you at the monitor flight airbar in space. So I say the military only police. The different system and monitor because Ghana Hana me who say war police helicopter. bebre oko advanced countries are most helicopter who say most of them no police ones. But Ghana had the military ones and for that matter, they should have had a sophisticated system. And nam say, they don't depend on the commercial routes anywhere in the country. If there is a situation at Obuasi, they should be able to fly there without any problem. The president should be able to go there without any problem. So that's it. I don't think I think this has really exposed the Ghana military, the armed forces, and for that matter, they need to do a lot. I mean, what they recommended, and they say they should buy more, modern flight, and they can. But modern flight, and Ghana says certain system be in place anywhere, and also I mean, overheard him say, government don't want to spend about 1 billion, in bringing in new equipment to support. A good idea. Say, bet me I equip womo. Ama instant BSC. Omatimi abwa omano abo man hobai. But some basic and fundamental things they cannot do without them, including being able to check flights anywhere they move around as far as the military is concerned in this country. Because when there is an incident anywhere, they should be able to move in there without any difficulty, and they should be able to detect and find out where their flights are at any point in time. They should be able to do that. And I think we are lacking that in the country, and these are some of the things we need to look into.
Okay. 80 at your phone to also and what's your presentation Captain Fojo report here between you was so saying and now when I venture and it's saying. Now back to your party, New Patriotic Party. Is a normal question. I'm being the other question.
Oh, NPP at Orancham Neto 2024. Na me wojidi say panimfo say woniema ehwiegu foma na unhu ne hyehyɛ o hyehyɛ ne yie na wasan apagya so 2024 ye call election, general election, ye lusu ye, but me dem wojidi pan say ye lose na ye lusu ye no enyina so ne ye bebre bi wo ha na ye yankasa NPP4 ye niema ye na ye wa ban mu ahomaso ene pesaminkumnya ene pomposity eno eka ho bi ena yankrofo bi nso na omuomu omayo madwen se ankoma fande a ene kwan bia so twese nyina elusu na yakotena fie saa adwemboni bi ebehye nkrofo bi trimu omoye niema bebre aditia aban no ene party no eno nso ka ho bi ena the fact say the Abino happened to go through a very difficult situation na Ghana ha mihu aban bi a wako through nia Akufo-Addo aban ko mu for 2-3 years under COVID pandemic and Ukraine war and so be bomu aban ne twase utimi steer the affairs and man niema ko yie me can say nia Nana Akufo-Addo aban ye no me danyamiase na me danyamiase magana for pa say the situation happened when the leader of the country was somebody who was very focused, who knew what he was doing. Because time COVID in some ba ye Nana Akufo-Addo wiase nyina okujina ba bia na nasemo beka bia no ene na wiase nyina obia efa otimi eboa ma ochechire Ghanafoɔ ere ema yinyare homu arehemu sonko ewonimu mfie mienu from 2020 2021 2022 ene ma efa mu nyina Nana Akufo-Addo etimi ema ye arehechire sonko na senye Nana Akufo-Addo aban although with all the enema ebimu ekase wo ye ya ebimu ani anya ho no I think that Nana Akufo-Addo aban did so much. They did very, very well in government. ana yen ankasa ye internal wranglings and internal sabotage ebi nso pɛ sɛ ɛnɛ sɛ me akufo ado kɔ na sɛ menya leader a me di partner nim de ɛne yɛbɛbɔ yɛn ɛna ɔma yɛ ɔmo nneɛma ɛna Ghana fo bufu ya dodo na sɛ ɛne te saa kra de me mekɔto ma NDC pa de me nkɔto aba no kra me nkɔto ɛna over 2.7 million people are normally come to abama NPP no ɔmo dodo na ankoto saa aba no ama NPP na nye se NPP yen leader ye de koye emum enana Ghana for empe no na emum part abana na wa aban mu senia ye mpanimfu bia na die animu ehye da edi abana tem essay abana tem essay abana kire Ghana for egu party nankasa animase e kire Ghana for no some people so say, I mean, what is the need for even getting up early to go and vote for a party? Yeah, you see, Oma Bokroni coming from, party leaders. Omo party, mu say, abaye na or party na, omo ko abaye mu 2024 no, omo ko twaba no, Oma Bokrono, Oma USC Kabebre, and they could go bruchire, they're looting state properties as if there is no tomorrow. Same way coming from NPP members of parliament. So, saa nneɛma we a yɛkeka no ɛno ɛna ma Ghana fo bi fu yes nti abaya yɛkɔto yɛ ma NPP ba pa wei ne de bi mu anya sika mo wie sika ɔmo fa ngu Ghana mpo aburukyire ɛna ɔmo ni kogu. What is the need for me to go and join a queue to vote for NPP? These are some of the things that I remember recently I was telling somebody, say, you see, say you can say party no yene ankasa na yegu ye ho fin ese ye ho wabra na inuka say yes a ye ma Ghana fo bu fu ye ne na ebi mu ntiase san say McJerry hwade say so ye a member of NPP and so ye Ghanaian na a member of parliament on the ticket of NPP comes out to tell Ghanaians say the sitting vice president na opeso be flag bearer of the party no waba mi fie woni mpanimfo tena ase na so mo ka kire me ni say omo pese omo ma me $800 million, not cedis o $800 million say menye sa sika no na sa vice president no ma me contest no na ono nko enko na omeye flag bearer na wakasa asem we no de ato ho wabra ye nyina nim say enkontompo apart from say enim say enkontompo
no ne ba no betima ba mo tamba beka.
Of course, yes, bepma na evidence ben ho. You see you see you can say obi ekasa asem we to ho. The fact is no one in his rightful senses and na ebetimi aka kire me say primaries o kono obi ma $800 million. It can never happen. Even advanced countries, they will never do such a thing. And yet, a member of parliament was able to, peddle this lie about a certain vice president. Now, apart from saying, the message it sends to Ghanaians, and they say, hey, and the vice president within 8 years, what you mean, because before you can give somebody $800 million as a bribe, no, not just billions. Not just a nipponet mania, sika busua motimi, enya $800 million or they call bribe wobi. I mean, these are very, very serious and some are yankasa, a kaya, egu yahufi. Because primaries 2023, Miko, Obuasi, Babia, Kwashi Kwatin,
Obuasi West.
Na, yakasa normally ye din kan ko region bia ba homya be ko bia na ye kokoye operation ho ye ko ne delegates ni nyina hia na yaka makasa. I mean they get opportunity to also make recommendations afutu on person dem enti ye wie na lady bi ene ne kunu ba me nchen e na o say wonim eye pass mo ba na otwe mienu etwa mu papa panyi ba ko ba ha na se no si be ne ye kasa ye no mfa me nim kunu kra ibufu se be sori akọ say I moto omo hwe manim na ye busabusa amotete ho no se omo waba mu no omo didi jamo omo mfa mo ho na motie Oma mona moto abama no makotra Jubilee House. As if say nipa no onka party no. Na and was look me tie me ni kunu. Ye wo shops. Yen provision shop. Me nsa me mitimi ba kwa na me kunu. Ana me de ba kwa ma obi a otia no ma ye. We don't need money, but we love the party. Nti ye jai ne na betra na wo twi anim saa di atam saa. As if say ye nyina na ye betra say ye pa adwuma party no aban no mfa ma ye. So me ye call Asante Achim Central. Ye kasa wie ye na amrante bi ba me nchen. What no kan? We say look. Normally you know mu share bia ye ma o mo case ka o mo de buy. Ye wie na obi ba me nchen say look. 2 weeks ago, ni person si ba ha. Na owie no, na ono nso ma ye cash kai de ba ye. Otina small kan o kaka ho se. Jamonyi we na minim se ma firi ha yi. Papa ba ko ba on the Arab sika. O sika wa goje no Arab fo ho na o de bebram ntimonye. Oh, we undermined ourselves. We denigrated ourselves so much say.
Na de mo kana na no kre. Oh. Party supported one way of
Majari. In some American, you know, a nipa. Me person me boni din wa ha. Aye nipa wa gina radio so ni TV so aka some way di gu abanu fin. Look, can you imagine in your right sense, say a certain president of a nation, one person gets up and says, that president, I am going to give that president a showdown. You are threatening the sitting president on the ticket of NPP. I just say, nobody can say anything to you. Can say, wo ye sikani, wo ye party ni, anunti obianti mi kano he. So, ye undermine the authority of the president of the nation, including the vice president, and undermine anybody. Say, Nema Bebre. And it generated that apathy in people. In fact, the apathy in 2024, no, it has never happened in the history of Ghana. Some say normally say apathy is here. One constituency be Hanuman ye kwa mayenti aban kwa yento. Bonzo ye beto abano say area bi ha say no to abano manto. But we are from north, south, east, and west, central, everywhere there was apathy because babia yenra papa na one yenra baomia contest ye. He generated this hatred for the party. He destroyed the base of the party, and for that matter, there was no zeal. Say nipano awoye member no obe pia bontin no akwohwe say party NPP no yenko toaba. So enei say nipa na nkasa asa beji no mu bio Ghana for NPP for say omonto man. But I'm telling you, Mark, me Prime Minister I have been to almost all the regions. About 3 weeks ago, now I was in the Brunhafo because I have for East. In fact, we normally go there, like I said, and sana ye raba mi alcohol. Na in summer omo cannot say. Not knowing say omo hu pan say yen crofoni bi and the yema ye lusu ye. Ebi mo hu say in summer nkontom pa bi mo be edi ye tamane wa ban mo no. So over here, I mean, you reckon edi. Na summer no kan yina no was about insult on the people in government. The government itself, the party, and then the government appointees. As if say, Omo Muabamu, I had that and fee party members. Just to, create that enmity for them. Now, and they, say, Unema Shegua, now who to say, Yan Kasa who say, Nema Shegu. Now, Adia Bakwa me manage, I want ye who say. Near ato NPP for you, and your first time I be ato yeni, and they been so to NDC for that. People don't know. People think that this is the first time I yato aba. I'm a party war power. Omatimi lusu poto sir. She the year 1996. Yenra President Kufuor a contest ya.
Yeah.
Or Nate Rollins contest ya no. That time na members of parliament a war parliament no. The total seats was about 200. So, and na yatu abanuye ye no. Na NPP yenya about 33 pe. NDC had about 160 something. 33 pe. Kufuor had about 39%. Rollins and Nam almost 60%. Na ye no. And na NPP. I can say papa yen san fanin kobio ena yede president Kufuor call the year 2000 yede president Kufuor call 2000 no look at what happened from 33 seats na NPP wono yetimi e move on up e be sign NDC for no mkuta 160 something no you move on from 33 e be sign omo ho e be nya the majority over 112 or so and NDC for e konya about 90 and omo e de call opposition enti nia esi 1990 the year 2000 no it's not different from what happened in the year 2024. It has happened before. NPP, we have gone through before, and within 4 years, we were able to overturn margin na edahono. The margin between NPP and NDC in the year 2000 was so massive. And it's me overturn a year from 1996 at about 2000. No? The same thing happened to NDC the year 2016. NDC no more by mo. Na yewo opposition. NDC omulusu poto na ade ba ko with all the history edaho ekire say party ewo aban mu no so omulusu a na say it is based on apathy. The following election no nkrofo na omubu fu ya omankoto aba no afi omuni bo omho so hu say afi de ye lusu ade o omu nyina diemika epia bonten ebeto aba na no bi ene to 2008 to NPP4 so be here time mateme ho fo ba mu alanchman say mateme ho when the party is more treating and supported and Ghana for who say the front of the party was in disarray, was not united. And until Ghana for I can say any to say there party amomu aba mu fi nwotwe no munye united dia yenyimu sinchan and ilusu ye dodo na NPP for dodo na MP ankotoaba senia ebitu ye 2024 no na look at something ya ankotoaba 2008 no 2012 Ghana for aye NPP for almost support to NPP for no so mu NPP for di no obia de showbo ani abufuo pia bonten ebetoaba 2012 yenya nkasa kra yenim say aba no ye wene ye and these for kwan efa kwan bi so a omo area mu a ekopie mu atugba ni mo no so confirm ma omo no we knew that we won because our people came out to vote and ye this a showbo na to aso and 2016 and these for so apathy mu and NPP for you be twifa omo so and they win ye with about 1 million votes and a rebel power.
Now, why they can't send this here party?
2016, the same thing. What happened in Satamana Fonka game, one game, no? The same thing happened. I mean, political party. Normally, when you stay in power for 8 years, this is natural. It happens. Oma ubetia, oma naso, oma minim mambia, wo mi constituency. Ne mami ensa, mami unu bema bako. Na bako yenyano yedne ko share immigration. Bako so na opeso ko nursing e ba ya na ede no ekọ ye place no onya ba bi ko share ba ko so opeso ko police wa oya application no omo frɛ no e ma ne ko ye medicals bam se na bre no nso ye ye de fa wo mo wo see ne ba no a wanya police anko nti on to and pants one to not forgotten say ne mami no within 6 years na aban no power no yetimi de ne mami no ahye ba bia ma wo mo amrante bia na omo eye adwuma wo forestry sa tree planting no nipa 500 I fa omo district bi omo say 3 months ye beto aba na ntwi omo ka nti aba na omo nto unim na omo nto aba no and this von when omo when 3 weeks after and omo ko no say masa obi am pack ne man free ha enti ye ha na omo free say oh boss you omo ba so omo pam ni na ye nye den and was na say aba no so monto na monto a omo ma when na baza omo kwa monko. You see, and now people are realizing say they made a mistake. I mean, for not voting at all. And these were based on some of the in somewhere you reckon the Japan in particular or can ya what the SA party no mami
I don't know who describe Canada Japan say or can some the say party now on the realists or what is going because Dr. Baumia Ajia to me say party in from so be.
Say I don't know about Baumiaji too mu say. Yenyan kasa.
The Honorable Kennedy or in Japan or when he say and no me kosu ni.
It's never
and
true.
All my grassroots.
He was so careless with his pronouncements. Ken was but let me use the word. He was careless. I was in someone or can ya or the good part no thing. Say okay. Say Ghana for say. Abaina or hono omo ya kromfwa to the extent say sika omo wia no. Omo mfangu Ghana mpo abruche no mo gugu. Oda me I mean McJerry. Ofi say obi catch us we kire Ghana ni a. Ah we NPP member. Obaka koto ma party no. No matter who you are, this is nipa no ye na do party nipa. Ghana for in same way and I catch the yen. I mean the certain president seeking to bribe me with 800 million and nipa na nyesa sika de antese de brabobi. Do I have to go and vote for him? You see, these are some of the things. Me kaisa na no yeah. Prime Minister ni na kana Japan ko jina ai babi omoton spare party enkran ha. Abosoka na ono omo kasa na asem okajo say aban ya ye di akire o mama nyema boa ye den pa wo habo ogo yi nyema kura wontimi nyi na papa na woye chairman of economic management team, the vice president no ono na etwase nkohwe na nyina akoso na wahwe na sabre yesan ko election bio ono nie in fact mo man hwe na ye ntwaba no ma no ono na say partner you so onye flag bearer. See indirectly no you are telling the people say abanu kura ma monkoto. You see this guy to me there or ye name bibrea say part no pa but yes intimi kan bibrea say ni aba no abesne ko there's nothing we can do na ade ba koamenim pa ne say 2028 Ghana for ebehu say Bawumia is a man of himself. He is standing as a man or person obedi Ghana for him. Tama no vice president. Ebi mo abufuo na omo ema the sitting president for any reason inti omo de sa abufuo na bi e dey affect Bawumia. Ebi mo kura to me can say Bawumia will be an extension of Akufo-Addo for whichever reason, even if he is an extension. I don't even see anything wrong. But there is no precedent or no the same as the previous. If Bawumia becomes the president of Ghana, Adebakwa minim pass a bebua Ghana for, and he said, this is going to be the first time yenya technocrats or ye economists or be ye president of the nation. Now, advantage a woman is say, you see, the man is so versatile, say, and Nema winim with the experience awenya as vice president. The international exposure on one kasa ni nim yes nkubia wo ene enema bia wo besua no wa mamuo no say obeye president na wo ye minister of finance anaza wo ye minister of energy wo ye minister of interior na say wo betane ni ma ba kansen bia kire na before obekasem na wie kura no na onim nya wo kan kusi nyina na question obobusa wo no because I've met him number of times and when no din komo na otie ni awoka aka se o twra de bi wo ayi na owie no pagya ne ti a question obubusa wo no McJerry opaka se na asma make nyina aka se na papa no ontie. He knows what he's about. Na I think that he will be one of the finest president that Ghana could ever have if we happen to elect Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia in 2028. So my president of Ghana.
Abusa yane aye engineer Entwibu Asiakon, a member of the MPP. In fact, belonging to Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia camp, and I no aiding komo, and not just internal sabotiers. Honorable Krawabo, the Honorable Kennedy Crown same be okay. And I'm a party no one more entime ending kunim in 2024. Now, said the working engineer. Let me ask you this: Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, no a vice president to Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Nana do name Munakasa no Obwa Dr. Bawumia. Some are of the view say Sabre no your president. Certain decisions be o take ya. E can be na e ma mo. Buko position. E lusu big time.
Mark, you see, when you're a president, Omokan Brof, you say the buck stops with you. When I will take you decision, and yet vice president, the vice president can only advise. You see, Ghana had the way yen constitution, no, any senior establish yen act. The yen yama be so we a deputy to anybody. You can only advise. In fact, me, I have been a deputy director general before, and I know what I'm talking about. No matter how good you are, say, oh boss, kase ho, and he is an expert. He can only advise the Minister of Finance, day-to-day management of economic activities in the country. And he can only advise on policy direction. Until I do say now, or chairman of economic management team. The chairman of economic management team is not in charge of the day-to-day management of the economy. We have the governor of Bank of Ghana who is in charge of ensuring, the city and who Ghana and Minister of Finance. On also na to financial policies. Na Minister of Finance, he receives budget from every ministry. Then he puts them together to make the budget. And until say Minister of Finance, the vice president can only have the opportunity to advise on certain policy direction. But when it comes to day-to-day management of the country, it is not the vice president. Now you can say, the chairman of economic management team. In any case, the economic management team, it is made up of about 6 ministries. I say 7. So what I say, and yet ministry bakupe, energy, education, finance, and all those ministries put together, and omushia, and even at the cabinet, will be our sign chairman of the cabinet economic management team. You will be able to say Alan Chamanten. He happened to be the chairman of the cabinet economic management team, and and only a cabinet yet, and the chairman of the economic management team in general or no in charge of the ministries. So the 2 positions are all advisory positions. There was not much Baumia himself can determine for the country. He can only advise. And they have to say in same biblio impo or pese or sisa no abaim and so anyam say in charge of finance and intino although he was the vice president, but he couldn't have changed them because the minister in charge of finance was taking the decision. I mean, cabinet meeting, and I say finance, economic management meeting. So I'm going to do, and I say, Minister for Finance, he cannot make any presentation. It is the Minister of Finance who has to make the presentation. And everybody listening, they all, make their contributions to the policies, ministers, and the other. Now, a man of direction say, okay, we know, munyan say. So, me who the entire will be blame. Baumia say, economy, no. Although we're expert na adenti and in any case, McJerry, in any case, so share time I buy mamumu the year 2017 nana go for the swearing in between 2017 and 2020, early 2020, the economy was doing very, very well. Near policy somebody go akwamu nyina che say enema na ekoyie and atorenchama ebeto ewiase nyina Ghana so koka ho bi COVID ebaye na COVID baye. Can you imagine say within about 12 months na ya close all the borders yedif enyema fa ho eba Ghana insuo so ewiemu akwan so ni nyina ya close because yempese nipa bi fra bontin aba Ghana ha na omode yare no abesan bebre. What happened was that enyema na yewo ewo market no ni nyina ye toma na saye ena wo ma na omo ewo bi egu dem me kan say enyema bi na ebi ni abonten saa time ne bo be ye din na are hopa and so na enye the doing of anybody because aban no say ni kwan say ye makwan ma nipa bia afri abonten e de niam be wura oman nim ena omo a omo nam wiemu so omba be bidru Ghana ha kakra bi ena na ye ma ho kwan so be order kra na you have to order na e bia cargo e de aba oman yimu enti enema bo e ho be ye den because enema na e wo market no yedi ni nyina ma ne sai ena de wo edem so omko yi ni nyina ba ye enti wo be hwa time ye yi lockdown no free ho no na enam se ne wo market asa na de wo dem so asa na ne de be top montin bia na nipa bebrebe ena chase no nti emma enema bo shaase se e kosoro ten enti ye lockdown free ho no na etwa se businessmen a omo Ghana ha no omo convert omo sika eye cedi no ekọ dollar mu na afei omo nya kwan etu kwan kwa manone ekofa niema ediba Ghana ha ema Ghana fo nya bito nti ba hwa within 3 months bi our 2022 cedi no na dollar no na say yeah because that was the time a lot of people were converting their money into dollar to be able to go out there to bring the stuff. And this happened not only to Ghana because even UK it got to a point say oko shop say oko tadia oko Asda na say Tesco and say oko na amo 5 kilos no ya ma kwa ma wonto mienu oil just auto one because chef no so asa omo mo production no nipa 100 no yesi nipa me be 20 per NMA production so the production went down everywhere it affected everyone we say but inflation UK normally it has been hovering around 1.2 1.5 and even UK inflation 1% grambona some ema womo and within that period now COVID no buy no the inflation rate na UK it went up to 9.5% and moving from 1% to 9.5%. You can imagine the size of the economy. Inflation I could do 9.5 and to Ghana general the nation but your man kwan you know lockdown in free ho na nkrofo ko fa ade no ba ye me kan wo fidie you say that the inflation in the country will continue for some time until the market is saturated or the items are yato ni nyina na free ho no because the cause of inflation is say near na wo market no and also into the to wa na nipa bebre na echesi and am say nipa bebre na echesi no
but engineer eno na shedan ye the reality where the for cry adio
oh kan bezo
yeah during that time and normally ye penny enya bito.
Yes, you will get it, but you won't get it. Sanya ubenyano. So over here, and I mean, there was a time within a month, the price of oil went up from 500 cities to about 1,200. So, I don't know whose fault was it because nema na yede ban ebini market, and na akonya yebenya ne da kwama no ne because we depend over 70%. Ewo nema yetu fra bontin, and unti say loke country no say obia ntimi fa bi mam. Esro ne fom oba bia then the market no enwa na yebedi amanasa na kakra na wabonten no na ye chesi because when you don't have enough on the market a lot of people will be chasing the same item and the prices will be going up and until so inflation could do about 54% as I saying and I can say look this rate now could it will begin to come down and it will continue to come down Emma all of a sudden because Sabreno afena ya carbon amanone akofa nia yehia ogana ha no dodo na aba enti omo de ba number ton na nkrofon so to bia gogu fie na nkrofon so akofo bia beka ho na enti omo de ba na afei market no yes saturated na afei omo nya bi begu store room afei na inflation no ebe stable because near a market no sa ebenya bi efiri store room aba abontia be hye nanan ansa na de efiri amanane no abeka ho so that is how inflation is being managed in the country and what happened to Akufo-Addo government at that time inflation cost it would have happened to any government even Jesus Christ Krana and not head president of Ghana at that time now the same thing would have happened. It happened everywhere in the world everywhere country be as of right because omo man lockdown we ya omo e kan say afede obi a ho kwan say o de car eko adwuma that time na me wo UK. Na mama lockdown no, people were working from home. And until obi a parking a car. Na omo bi say afede obi a ho kwan say otumi drive ko na office no. Within one week, the price of fuel went up so high because everyone was running to the pump to fill their tank. And the more amount for demanding fuel, a more tank in the morning, na price and also a cost and sana bafum bill. So all these were natural. Near for inflation above for me. It is not the doing of the government. They haven't done anything. Of course, yes. I mean, Mark, it was
strategically, and I say, yeah, analysis in here. Most of by 2017 indicators were very good.
Such as
indicators
were
very good. Yes, economic indicators.
The inflation was not
inflation.
Inflation was about 15%.
The exchange rate. And now we share the rate at which we compare budget statements
and so over here. So over here.
But over the year 2019 and then Rama Shas, yes sir.
2019 things 2019 things were still very good. In fact, the
things
growth
were not very
so
good.
over here inflation rate 2019 it was about 7.8%. 2019 you can check it. 2020 Exchange rate in 2019 was about 5%. Yeah. Was about 5 Ghana cedis to a dollar. I mean, you can check it now.
Double digital.
No.
But
2019 it was about
finance minister then about out say it is establish a FX committee because the rate na exchange rate no cost na
no, but
that time
2019 na inflation the exchange rate
flags,
inflation rate what do you call it, the exchange rate now it was less than 7%. You can check it. I mean, you can Google and check it. It was very, very good. So that's it. The only time exchange rate was even time of COVID by because business activities very, very low. The demand on dollar was very low. The only time exchange rate was when we lifted the lockdown. Amount for shares almost converting into dollars to go and bring in the staff in the market. That was when cities started suffering, and that would have happened to any government. Because the people did not have the dollar, they needed to convert their cities into dollar to be able to go out there to buy the stuff. We don't have them here. See, and that is why I'm saying the government today hasn't done anything to reduce the inflation. Because if we want to reduce inflation, what should happen is Ghana should be producing enough. Nyaye producing Ghana should be equivalent to how much our neighbor. So say we're not producing enough. Inflation, free because the what we have in the market, we still have more in the storeroom. So the market is saturated with the items. That is what stops the inflation because we have it on the market. When you don't have it on the market, that is where people are rushing and chasing the small items on the market, and the prices keep changing all the time. And that is the essence of inflation. That is how it works. So that's it. So exchange rate I can also see it is not the doing of the government. Say my be extraordinary and until today exchange rates will low. What the government is doing today is so precarious and it's so dangerous for the country in the next few years. Say abani babo kaguha enam say omo pese omo aniema PC Ghanaians, anunti they're throwing money out there. If Bank of Ghana takes $1.2 billion, na wababontin, na yankasa yensi dina wabontin no, na wabeto ni nyina, wabeto equivalent of 1.2 billion cedis no wabontin no, na dollar na buy no wababontin, no wabeto, na ode kogu boxum, na dollar na ode begu abontin no, egu abontin bebre, anunti obiya koso kope dollar ni bia egu ho. Abasa, and said dollar no wa bontin be no. The amount for almost per dollar no. If you wa bontin enti and masidi no ehun yedin because people are those who are chasing for the dollar no is available. So the exchange rate becomes very low, and that is what the government is doing. This is artificial. And this has been happening for the past 7 months. And Bosumi Bia are buying way at about 1.2 billion. About bunting. Na yen kasa yen local currency no. Wabato wabunting. Na wata no more throw dollar now or the about bunting or the about no throw into the market so that there will be more dollars in the market. And if you continue to do this, this is not proper economic management. What should happen is say aya dia Ghana yatimi produce niema bebre enam se produce bebre no ntino ya de kwa amanone na yakoji yakoton ni enya dollar na de aba enam se yakoton ya enya dollar de ba market abontin ntino dollar no abontin bebra ba so happen no emma local currency no ehun ye din ama e generate enuma na omo ye will not generate jobs.
But some of you be yo. Like it would have been a good news for more party.
No,
because that time, and then can say business people are making savings. One may crack cars at the bomb, man. You more. There's only say cars be a swatete.
You see, Mark. You
see, one may crack no madeba a swatete because sika $100,000. Ghana sika or the quacker $100,000, and they sa Ghana sika or the quacker. What make it savings?
And that is where people get
so
it wrong.
So say bibi sa wo ho na se na ke artificial. Ni ebeye na ama move for no.
No, you see,
you should have done anything ama for to board the
management of a nation. This kind of things, no. Yeah. In terms of shoring up the economy. I mean, CD.
Yeah.
Say what is the card dollar be able to bonting na yanya more dollars in the market to control the city no about yeah. I mean NPP government did it. I mean President Kufuor time or it happens. But what this government is doing is extreme because they're doing it for prices, but you don't manage economy for prices. You manage economy to create job. Their own way doesn't create job because if you control the exchange rate. Now say it is not leading to creation of jobs. Then you're not doing anything because the unemployment situation now for the past 9 months, and I said 10 months on by year, it has not changed. So if what they are doing is translating into creating jobs, then we can just say something is happening. If what they are doing is leading to high production, then we know that we are producing more, and until we are getting more dollar into the country, we are not producing more to export. The foreign currency number of mining. Until what is actually causing the rate it is artificial. You don't manage economy with this kind of artificial tactics. Sikana mu A2 abonten aye ka no mo. Government of Ghana is spending 1.2 billion just to buy the cedi on the market in order to allow the dollar not say be dollars to be abonten. Anybody can, any damn person can do this. And they say the manager Maya Mark minu my finance minister na me ka say me pese exchange rate number form that be amema 1.2 billion dollars. Fako abonten cedi na abonten no fako to bebre oko foreign forex we say okay mame about $500,000 worth of cedi. Now what just cedi no na what the size kana man no obi ba dollar ni bi ho. You can do it. Anybody can do it. You don't manage economy like that. You use your own, the money, the dollar that you have. I say, over converting, over converting into dollars. And I say, and then my carbon think or tone, yeah. Yenya dollar almost say gold board one sika obenyano amanonia ba in dollars no na abanaje na we the market na wakoto seed na ewo market no say be ya dollar ni be wa bontin bebre enu nti the exchange rate keeps going down. It is just artificial. That is worrying. I mean, and everybody should be worried because this is not going to translate into job. So if we now ton cars ne buona ba for more. Na se nipa o Ghana no o mo nyesi kan emfi o mbotom nkoto kana. Then what is the essence of doing that? What is actually helping them to be able to generate wealth? That is what we need to look at. if it is not translating into generating wealth, then don't do it. It is artificial. Any government can do it. Any goddamn person put there as Minister of Finance and then Governor of Bank of Ghana can do this. But what we expect from them is policies that are going to lead into, creating jobs. Where are the jobs? Within 9 months, and more people to give them hands and to my employ. All this should translate into creating jobs. What happened was banks na okobobo say free bank ya esotiba for my drubebi na banks almost they were begging people to come for loans. You know what happened? It created short-term employment so much say Oma na omukwama no ne ekofa ne ba na within 3 months it was say oton na onya nsika no enam say wonya kwan ekoba obosia rate no from nintino otimi ton ne mane bebre ode ne ma bebre ne ba ya no enam say ne mane dose no nso person ton ntem no kwama no ne kofa foforo ba nintino na ofa nipa be miensa ka ne ho na into within short time no one person wafa miensa ka ne ho na nipa foforo nso ode ne ma bebre aba na nso afa nipa numa ka ne ho. See, so you are creating short-term employment and people were getting something to do and getting money into their pocket. That is how we manage economy. So if you manage the economy and it's not translating into creating job for people, whether short-term employment or long-term employment, then you're not doing anything. What after forcing? I'm so forcing. He's not forcing. He's only forcing the city. A dollar artificial forcing and all forcing. They to see I wa bontin se be ya be nya dollar wa bontin na aye bebre wa bontin se be ya the beka say dollar no ne bu na ho de na ba fom. Anybody can do this.
Okay, now yeah share ensema waka they wo share Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia we wonim say ono na eso timba bi di party nenem na wo ka bibi fine sembia nipa e kan ya you describe them as the internal saboteurs. No sabotage a party, my party, the co-opposition. Currently, internal saboteurs in the Bino.
In fact, the difficulty NPP is facing now is coming from different angles. Yawankophobia, for some reason, they have harbored some hatred and pain in them, and they're exhibiting it in different ways. Oma no more party no so mati omo ho party no ma se omo ne ba mu ache anu nti omo ne twa se omo determine who should lead the party. Sankrofo nyina no omo ka omo ho bomu a ebi mu from say Kofuo boys. In fact, ananu ya crowd ebi efri yera Dr. Richard Anane ho. These are the people are describing themselves they are Kofuo boys. And I'm telling you, Mark, you ask what I'm making. I said it the other time and I'm repeating it here. The difficulty the party is facing today, apart from Canada, Japan, the difficulty NPP is facing today is coming from the people they call themselves Kofuo boys. Yes. The people they call themselves Kofuo boys, they are giving NPP all the troubles the party is facing. You see, from 2008, Yinra Alan Chamantin resigning from the party. And Okan said we free party anymore. O free party anymore no. And ya na manfo who say the party when yakonobu and until you lose 2008. You lose 2008 Okobo nebra na 2016. Yaba power. He was one of the first 3 people aban ebo omudin so mbe ministers obey enjoy 8 years. 8 years no ebe so no ade a wo ye no 2008 no the same thing and Alan saye and otie no ho was we free party ni mu na atemnie obi a wo ye principled man with integrity na se party a ofi say omo ye NATO doing nothing talk only. Okay, and you happen to stay with them for almost 8 years. If you are a principal person, you know the government was not performing, you should have left. And or didn't come so if you move and I'll in the party. Or in the party, the aim was to fight against the party and the government so that we lose. He achieved his aim. You know what was in the party bill or United Party. The aim is to cause, distraction in the party because Obianim said when you talk about NPP, then forefathers are almost at the party, no a United Party. And if they pick that name, then it will create controversy in NPP. That was the aim. That is exactly the aim of Alan Chamanten. Alan Chamanten is full of bitterness, and he just want to cause distraction anywhere he get the opportunity. And Otin who are in crop for Akote or party. They say party now Makote almost free party no more. The only work they're doing is to destroy NPP. Anytime you hear them talk, they don't talk about the new party. They're talking about NPP. Even they go to the extent of describing the vice president. Vice president for 8 years. Why you running mate for 8 years? When the President Kufuor Juma or Bank of Ghana, almost say you alien, you outsider. That's how they describe him. You see, just because almost say when the party was founded, Baumia was not part of it. And I think this kind of things now, Yankophobic, and I know Richard Anania, he said the same thing. Or see, or catch Abronye, the chairman of Bono region, say, time I hear party no Abronye now or Hifa. I will come there. I will answer this. Mark, the fact is, political party evolves. When two people establish political party, you don't expect say Sankrofona and Ebokoso and manage party. No, people will come in, and that is why we have constitution that allows equal opportunity in the party. Party no emra say obey a member of the party, active member with good standing. Na so ye adwuma party no enfie mienu a wo ho kwan say ultimate contested to become executive member of the party. That is what the law says, the constitution says. And the constitution say we are active member for 5 years, sir. Wo ho kwan say ultimate contested to become flag bearer of the party. Na say obi ebeye member of the party. President Kufuor appointed maniko Bank of Ghana. Na yakofani free woman be running mate for 8 years. Na obeye vice president for 8 years. Why flag bearer? Nei was a contest bill. Na obi ba bontin be catch say sa nipa no why outsider. Na nipa Ghana fo a omo ye ordinary. Omo ye young. Misa time ye te party no me na misa small boy. And as woman na yengu woman no na nka omo free omo ma meyem. Emeje pen no fan sign ma omo no meye members anasese. If we want somebody who has been a long-standing member in the party, and then chairman of the Council of Elders, so na party no me flag bearer. We don't make this kind of pronouncement when you are dealing with a political party, because political party evolves. Within the next 5 years, anybody can come up to lead a party. Anybody. So Baumia be president 8 years. I'm telling you, even one more contest with him this year. After 8 years, somebody else may even spring up. That is how political party evolves. And until some more I ministers na say yem frɛ ya ba yen so party near the equanim. Now be jina bonten catch the Ghana for say. The party no be nyina hɔ a. Then mu na mokwa. Yen say menya no mufunu na my party nana. The next 30 years, are they going to be alive to, to manage the party or to be members of the party? If at that time it happens that no party no at that time and 30 years time, no party because party no. I don't think that's our pronouncement no can effect. That is why it makes the party unattractive for youth, because if the youth are only 22 years. Papa say, and as I know for me say, the party then 22 years no mama party no ever. And all this pronouncement, and if you listen to it, Alan Chamantin, Richard Anane. These are the the Kufuor boys are almost party almost seno. Their pronouncement, they are using it to destroy the party. And that is worrying. And I know, as my walking, say, Adia Abronye, and yet, let me tell you, Mark, I'm going to tell you something. Maka say, for what I know, if Abronye decides to take on Canada Japan 24 hours, 7 days a week, I will support him. Look, if Anya Abronye on, and Cassandra Canada Japan could go party, no?
How?
Canada Japan, me say, and
Abronye, on also the Oyana in good party.
What that topo, my main can show.
Supposing says, Honorable Kennedy on Japan can say, be a Ususu say good party.
When you party,
Abronye also can.
You see? Sometimes when I see him, Mama, me, I have said to him, say,
Party Amope unity.
Hold on, Mark. I've said to Abronye, say, certain aspect, he shouldn't go to that extreme. Certain issue bar on call to the extreme. But for Canada Japan, if he takes him on 24 hours, I'll support him. Why? Because Canada Japan and Nema why tia party. You see, the nation sa and I'm penning for the partner almost an san I want to make a channel. And what's separate na bedru sabri. And now me say no and say obosomu or taking honor and Casamre and Wagu party no Canada Japan. Na aya Richard anania sama e koba na anu ya yekan. Canada Japan aya Richard anane eba bonten be catch the Ghana for say Abronye adidi President Kufuor atem ewo National Council. Na sa pronouncement na papa na kan no. It was a very serious comment. Say National Council no enye ni panketo na o. National Council all the regional chairmen and all the former national executives, all the former presidents and vice president. And some penny na ekochia on from the National Council no. Na sa o catch the Ghana for say one of the regional chairmen was a meeting national. O jina ho didi President Kufuor atem wa bra ade na nya no kra. This is very, very treacherous and dangerous. In fact, let me tell you what actually happened. In fact, about 4 days ago, one of the, because I wanted to know the truth, one of the former executives na owohobi ekasai and no chimacham say and sama Dr. Anna Nebekan ba go kro no na kre na o say Dr. Anna say o mo call National Council meeting no and President Kufuor suggest say and I'm say the current chairman na Mr. Stephen Intim wa ne hu dodo no kakra anu nti wa resign the position he's resigned from his position they say the first vice and act on his behalf and was say President Kufuor can say and them say chairman na resigning into no yenko fa the former chairman na o mabakro no McManu Afoko and Freddie Blay and all the chairman na o mabakro no yenka omumum na omumeye interim chairman interim managers for the party. Sana Dr. Anna Nekaye. And also can sano. And also can who say the top down but approach na person ye flag bearer no. President Kufuor say we should maintain the status quo. Ye to abafi a former sana ko yi flag bearer ye maintain it. Na o say o kan sa ensem mienu wie no and abronye so gina ho and odidi President Kufuor atem. These were lies. Yenra Dr. Anane Ekaye. And the Nipa Nekachem said, what actually happened was that Sa Asemna or can say President Kufuor say yenye bottom up, yenye bottom top down approach, President Kufuor never made that statement there. Name what happened was Tama Omuko share for the National Council meeting, not President Kufuor were UK. And our tone kraba saying Kebeya enka omu manimra na omra sa meeting ni bi. And na omu ka chen say ba bia o ma hihye nema koduro no. the notice at Abontin, invite all the regional chairman, will be much flight, deba. Until change date na enye. And share no take his decision. Until it was never true. Say President Gufo eba hobe can say. Yenyai top-down approach, you know, that you use the existing down up, no. Until I atro ena edin kan Dr. Richard Anane ediye. Netosumi, you know, and nipan say the next meeting, na President Gufo, as some President Gufo can say. And them say regional national chairman are resigning, and I'm saying a home fan into no. Ebeya the former chairman na umbakwe no. Yenche country ni mu na memfan say northern regions no. Yenfan she obi de say afoko nsa. Na the western part no. Yenfama Freddie Blay na eastern part no near the ama McMahon and na President Kufo kan assembly. Now kan assembly no. And na at the meeting no you can't say obi anche na dwen wo ho ne ho na obi a sorry ye we sorry no ache na dwen we sorry na abronya sorry no also a friend say makonta because don't say President Kufo ye no free bu no so and also akonta asma who can there actually a bright dwen so kakra because the constitution of the MPP states say national chairman anywhere. You were first vice, you were second vice, you were third vice. Omo ena omo ejinamu ema chairman na woni hono. And until so ka say yankofa former chairman mra. And it is unconstitutional. And indeed it is unconstitutional. And I don't think President Kufo ebe ka say yankofa omo no meye interim chairman e wo manim tenia Richard Anane kan no. Richard Anane knows say it is unconstitutional to even invite them to be, the interim chairman. Wabra your first vice. So Kufo did not. Until no, and now a two. Abronye. Papa Panimu didn't know just uncontemporary at the Tomaso. And indeed, it is a statement that me so Obika say me test Obia Didi President Kufo Atama. Ebeyam Japan. Obia ni wa oye NPP ni. Obeti say Obi Didi President Kufo Atama enyanya. So Richard Anane intentionally created that enmity for Abronye said wajina council meeting I say adidi president wa Abronye anya no kre and no and ama Abronye bufu ya ono so ekeka ne okan ne chena indeed me catch and say maka say indeed he needed to respond to him but he went too far, he was too extreme and obiane senia osi e control ne ho sene bufu a anonti mi hu de ntia ebi mo epese ade a Abronye eye no although akwa achiri dodo but ye ontie ne ewomu enekure ewomu na oblemu no. I think say mama yemfa nokure enya adwuma kakra. Look, for the past 20 years or so since President Kufo ewie na adwuma 2008 mika say President Kufo o Dr. Anani a o kan ho bi and 2008 ye lose ye.
Oh yeah.
2000 ye ebe ka be 1 year hama yakoto aba and ye tin say o Dr. Anani asem kakraka akofa ba say ukọ abrochire koye adwumadie bi wo ba na ade akora ba e sa asem wi ekofa ema nkrofo kra akoye bibi ma ekopie charge onkai ema charge
be nyina mekan yo
ema tobo ema charge e fan ni guilty say ade a oye na nye ema party no aban na hu anim guase a President Kufo aman e sha sisi wonya ni nyina kan obi e na elusu ye since ye lusu 2008 we have never heard the voice of Richard Anani anywhere. We have gone for election 2012. We have gone for election 2016, 2020, 2024. Anani ma bontin meye campaign ma party that. They say they are all of a sudden. What unity? Chances say yeah because primaries. The state is very high. And to me, maybe PC in. I'll come and piece in and create confusion. Now my coach number. And that is what they are doing. That's what so because that's what back who council meeting when you member. When you member of the council meeting. Council members when you member, national council when you member. Kobi. E say the entia asem si wo ho no. O ma obi a wo ho e meka ho asem na wo fra bonten e beka ho asem say me in some what party no ya me pese meka na bonten. Asem be na wo party no o mpese beka na bonten abeka e. Na wo mpese beka na bonten ade na beka e. So, or Casa Assam, no, they're bringing penny so no what so jagum no cotton baby. And that is what they're doing. That is what people like, you know,
now to achieve what?
To create confusion in the party. These are the people who are saying, say, Baumia is outsider. These are the people. These are the people who are saying, say, Abronya and then Nipa Bambamu and Chair, so they don't have voice. They don't have to open their mouth. Why must that happen? I didn't necessarily see. All the time for the past 20 years. What a Papa voice over that? What is what big baby a campaign my party? If where they feel fine. As some so can so contempo. You lied about Abronya, and Abronya had that right. He needed to respond to him. He needed to respond to, and I supported him, you know, is responding to him. But I think he went too far. We can forgive him. But me, as an engineer, I don't normally look at the effect. I look at the cause, because without the cause, there will not be any effect. And the effect, you know, and I don't blame Abronya for that.
Okay. Higher needs 100.9. I tell for Mabamoso. Namoso Yanamo Abonkomo. Ewaha Yene engineer and Chibu Siako, member of the New Patriotic Party, and Yaneno aiding common. Na ye share the party Mosadia Norma Air Coswell. Engineer, o share more parliamentarians. One more elbow more than no. Parliament one led by Honorable Fenyo Market. Because one more so some we knew. Some more sign I view. One more so a funny bit in almost. Ujitum. Are they positioning themselves well?
In fact, say Ghana for the money at the extra. Since Yinra Afenyo Ebeye, the leader of the party in parliament, our minority leader, no, was demonstrating another style of leadership. It means he was parliament there. In fact, NPP mu Oma Beye majority leader and a minority leader on behalf of NPP, you know, Afanyo marking ni style ni different cry. And I think say so far nya what demonstrate na midmani adinachi na I have seen some consistency in his style of leadership. So senya we see eye ne niema abontin hu so no obi idea group, but when it comes to his business, so original ho our parliament na okasa it cast my mind back to time na JH Mensah mo ewo ho. The JH Mensah original parliament. Say okasa, he has some voice be it pierced through your ears. And I see that pusher in Afanyo Markin. And I think say so far so good. The man is doing very, very well. In fact, the mighty minority, almost no, but so far no near almost you know, almost who Abraham, almost anima banyam Ghana for and who say indeed NPP ya da form cry you wanting. And I know say we get even stronger when we are down. NPP has always gotten stronger when we find ourselves on the ground. 1996, we had only 33 members of parliament. And DC had about
196, 63.
No, 63. Very good.
Yeah.
63.
And the PNC, 5, and I think.
No, NDC 133.
Yes.
So that is it. 133 and then 63, no, were able to come up to overturn it within 4 years. And I'm not surprised at 2028 this parliament will overturn. So because also baby and these for winning most places they have never won there before, and all was the cause of the apathy that happened. And yankrophobia be anko toba. Na me ojidi say adwuma ye na ye kan hubom ye united. Na Ghana for who say we are prepared, and I think we are going to need another, group of leadership. Our party after Bahomias year 2 abani we will
after 31st January, no.
Yes, after 31st, no. Year 2 year na nyame boni yi Bahomia. I think that yen nyina de ni ebidi na we will make sure we select the rightful people omo ebidi partner ni manage the party day to day management of the party. I think some things haven't gone well in the past 3-4 years. In my view, the management of the party has not been very good. And these also have direct effect on the party, because a political party that anybody can get up and say anything they want. They can insult anybody. They can insult women. They can insult judges. They can insult pastors. They can insult anybody, and nobody can call anybody to order. It doesn't make the party attractive. And I expected the leadership to have done better than what we have seen so far. And these are some of the reasons why the party, affected the government and the party going into 2024 elections.
All right. Now, Justice Bafubone, the veteran, who follow, even though minority more racial for the stage workout, which workout may be describing as your necessary. May be some of us in this woman. Many the internet on stage that workout because more debate, more views to share, more the atoho, the panel better say. Earlier, yet they say minority wouldn't be part of the voting. Later, and yet they say minority will be part of the voting. Regardless of views, yeah, more any counter views. So Parliament won't make us on Kwan so Okasa will be so beba. But we were somebody like me personally, I always say they were supposed to be part of the voting, but almost did work out. So far, said about in the coin.
That no manya kwantra ho anwie ni nyina but omu some short videos about bonten no manya kwan hwere bi na walkout and boycotts in parliament they are all part of the practices
I
there.
agree.
So normally in the minds of ordinary they may not agree. You have the right to disagree with them. But I think they are right. Say to send a message out. Before now omo can as send the signal say the vetting should not even come on because there is a pending case in court. If you say high court, ebe determine say omo ho kwan say omo vet papa no na obeye a substantive chief justice ana. And this abans omo go ahead. So that brought the first controversy. The second one was,
but also follow principle. Why should this become a matter? Because Mufra Bemunche, Yenim de course of parliament, levy, obey the court. President went ahead to assent it. Chair Auditor General, the American America they related say Ghana for the Duanano Shemo mobile bay mo flag bearer. It's one more share behavior mo putting it up. And no maybe so you fresh our yajimo. Look at them level. From level ne some court no. President went ahead. Appointee. Obi no be seen a name.
No,
you see it normally be say about sana people are making these analyses.
These are different issues altogether. Domin level and you're not a assembly court. Okay. This particular issue I can want no. Ma mena Jomama yine jino. On one day assembly court. Until she has taken direct interest in the matter. And we are talking about the Supreme Court, the highest, the apex court of the land, the person to lead it. Until any ordinary case, we just treat it as normal as any other ones. So that's it. So we cannot make that comparison. Say, will be the assembly court, levy will be the court, and president who said there's no need. So we could be court and quiet. I mean, we cannot compare this matter, or a court of parliament, the vetting of a chief justice to a levy will be the court. These are two different issues.
So, after 2012 election, there was election petition by Nana Danko Kufuor, Dr. Baumia, and Jacobi Chebelamti. I mean, funny crazy. It's about say, John Dramani Mahama, and nominating the ministers, and also led by Ura Sechi Mesabunsu. don't boycott outright. One man, you're part of the your friend saying ministers are normal bed. Even though not some work court. But question them be say court on a normal either say court on the nullify elections and as a court on the be so obeka say petition no about boy to go about to go sabre ministers are JDM power no I see it to me a peruso yet to be bisa woman somebody you one competence level so between the baby agyeman well one sided penny verti woman Tabana why the minority?
No, but they are all part of it. I mean,
minimum say part of it, but maybe
in natural sense. I mean, Mark, in natural sense.
Some boycotts and walkouts, no many idea. No,
they are all part of in natural sense. In natural sense,
sometimes it be Mark unreasonable to me.
In natural sense, so
both sides.
So advanced country, Parliament when they are doing something, now say the party in power no. Almost take a decision. Some members that belong to that political party can oppose it, and that is why we need to grow, our parliament in Ghana. Say minority ni ho crowd is some difficult questions. There should be some members in NDC who should have the country at heart and ask the difficult questions that the minority will have asked the same questions. And the boycott there, it doesn't really matter. The people there should be up and doing, and they should be doing the right thing. But it never be a cause of, I mean, Mark, it never be a cause of vetting, and also a warning. In fact, first of all, we saw in a video, say the majority leader was so vehement, saying, he will not allow the minority leader to speak the way he wants to speak. He will determine how he should speak, and I think that was worrying. You see.
But it's in the context too.
Whatever
can they say or disrespect it?
What disrespect how? No, you see that I don't know impunity was aimed to undermine the respect and authority of the minority leader. That is all. Because to say it's a minority leader or kasa or disrespecting Kofono is also a means of undermining him. Because I've never seen Afanyo actually disrespecting anything. He makes his point all right. I mean, point be make it or making it cogently. I don't think say oh your majority that now all the bejina ho catching oh man in kasa assembly obeka biano obe interrupting her. That was not good enough, and that was the reason why I believe part of the reasons why they decided to boycott the place. But I know some pahono. Any my course hono. I think say this particular Papa converting in Simbia or I got myself so worried. So much. Some say, see, come on now, or ye a branch and or ye high court judge. He took some decisions, and some of the decisions he took, they were based on one an instinct. And then the age our war, and or they share or they take key decisions be or my didn't good prison. Sometimes crab won't grana.
And non chess and crofone ye bonnet.
Oh my bonnet, but the obia bonia, emra, and the emranica, and ye share, Eddie etchini panason. You cannot use, although you can say the judge's decision is based on the food the wife gives them in the morning before they. So when that's our judge, a buffo and a pa, no better than one. And baby or never bought a user or more 100 years. And maybe and I justice you can say, oh yeah, Tama, ye chi. Atai, or see, Atai, now where you come for pan. Na Odi na semwie no. O who say, say it was money 30 years, 30 years no, or the manner. Or no, Satan no ya branty, or she Satan present go 4 time, na or ya branty. Na 30 years no, enche no aba abontin. Oba abontin so a, obe say, Judge Bennett na dwam e na yedem ko prison. I hear no be ha no. Enti ono ankasa yusu ni to me. At the man of 70 years. Now 70 years now the man on the into the man say 70 years there, so when the age, and 70 years timer. Man,
also we start to me when you know judge for
no, but
some passage advent.
No, but that is where we are abusing the laws of the land.
But still, or no, within the remit.
What remit? Remit.
And that's what not going to be to me the life imprisonment.
No,
no,
says
because quite normal the boy and yet said no kunkum nipa.
Nipa. But on deserve say or share evidence that they were him. That's on deserve say what they call life imprisonment. You cannot do that. Say on deserve say what they call 70 years. You cannot use your age and say because as a judge you pass your judgment based on and being fearless and unfavor obia. So that's it. Until say wo can say o de ne kom fie be na ba bonten tem an hwe na oba attack you and o family na samre ya odamu 70 years so oba bonten na se sla ne ho odin na o family no omo so wo na so awu ka so o family so met ma attack wo na so o man de onyo no mo no you know man so mo tia so bet ma attack wo I think say that comment was very bad and I did not expect that from him and Osha nipa bebre oduma go prison no these are some of the things where they pass a judgment or do go prison and I know said the guy needed to be punished because no di boni bebre and nyame bo aya ye chi no ana idi nasem na idi nasem wie na say opese otwena so a you don't use your own sentiments and we instance say make me feel say ahwa oba bonten temo a na wa be attack me na me yere me manso me de ne kotum 70 years obaba na me yere man me ewu ni eko I think that it was a bad comment and I did not expect that from him. Apart from that aye mame tokonu your mama I can say we in free no. There's nothing anybody can do about it. He's the president. He's got the powers to do such things. And he or promise and this for we leave it to the posterity say in future no say obi nso ba also be the same thing na
okay
that is what we are looking at now.
Meda se mame kwatie for na monchira madwen ene ye ne engineer entwe boasi anko member of the New Patriotic Party ene ye na bonkomo wa he 030 unfortunately NDC ne so oba no went me ambekan 03022579002 03022579002 and 0302243 540 0302243 Mame wadwen kire samakodwa yede agu apono so extensive conversation a yene engineer atwebu asia kon ahavo mache majo
ene mache na majo
yetio
medin lisentia me fa show ade ba kwam me pese me kan se o man nyina yeti idikan me ti ase se ye campaign na sami denfin any excel president Mahamudu to make us say mammy buy a baby niflo without no reason na ye think of full be a form at Abama Mr. Council members now more they and crack harbor with emotion na she say no mo gu mami ni mu ase sebe ade ye Ghana na ye gu na ni mu ase ye be fi say gu mami na ni mu ase but ye gu ye mra na ni mu ase ana asam no so wo court omun bi wi nti sanka Ghana ye o man ye kan no kore na mpa ye di mami ase mu wi na ase mami onko no nkwe na juma nkanka man ye wa ba si say chief justice obe na den aka no so be den yi na fi so Mama yam fanya so yama abama mo na ma fa post me to say she ni hobi 8 years be san ba so na me come answer back so
me ba so wadaru mama ofo from so emre bi need 100.9 me ba so majo yes I tell yanko
yo ye frem Alex Kokuta me fefi dan suma ablik ma west tata me kan say MPP there, Amamuru there, cut opposition 12 years because Osha and near my course so Yewura, Kenofuriata, Ebedia finance minister, Ombepua Conta, Papetia Brutre, Musa dia best ama era, the friend said Baumia, the finance minister, your friend of Oma, because he can't a guaproche road, but there's some mammy no. Now Osha Sanko for near abronye nneɛma a wɔyɛ we yɛnsampa nneɛma we nsampa ma MPP aban a Dr. Bauma da no deɛ lalai ɛnsi da tɛbɛkɔ go paa deɛ nka yɛnkɔkɔ na a bright champo wɔ hɔ a yɛde mana obɛtumi abu ɔmmɛda mana ɔmmɛda kɔ anim because candidate also so yɛde mana obɛtumi ayɛ bibi papa na yɛwura Bauma deɛ lalai ne tela ɔhu da.
Okay, Medan say, and also what do you have about Mebacho Mammy for Majo? Yes, I too.
I mean, I'm asking you.
And council.
I'm the doctor no studio and now New now Nigeria doctor now on the Casa Iraq.
Oh, you engineer.
Engineer, okay, Mate. I say Iraq the Canadian account same year. Already I just said you can Japan department good position. Nigeria, Ukrainian people can I say in Ukraine is you can't to a Ghana for. A son of a different kind. Nay, Ghana for any master say, and part the Sana echoes of our Ben. Nigeria, Sa in the buffer stock, national, national, service force then. Sa gives you a while in the bossy. Sika, you see, I get few office war. And you see, first can I get one personal money and I your man's can I. Imagine yet your memo and may would the air course over you looking for a memo, no reshuffling. You catch it about with that nado. You reshuffling our party CD and stock at your party composition. My net and my partner composition. Look at the phone, Magdalene. Jura attaching a say, you look for the is still reading. And the yes, as a part a moment in some way, reading. Now, you the dominant of reading. You have a men's of reading.
Okay, Medan say, Mammy Fadu Ho, Mebacho Majo. Majo. Hello. Hello. Yes, I too.
I'm a mintia was to live our country. Or your life and clear and agree. Namintia honorable John Body. I can't tell John Body say, or my Yankasa incoming national chairman. What you should call National Woman Organizer. Maybe our country. Namintia, His Excellency Dr. Alaji Mahmoud Baumia. And also, Yamaya Duma, Yakotu Abanua, or no Bewini, near the Accord 2029. Magere, you're nearly 10 ambient. You were my animal umbrella campaign. A brand here we are oil NDC, I from Mr. Mijan. One to say, Wamaki, Wabubonko for the act, including soldiers, was there, or Muba, by Umbe, or Mwadi. Now, where are we dear? Mammy, where are we to free our chief justice? You know, I don't need that woman. Yeah, Martin, that I say, or more, or Munyatino, you know. My guy, on my hand, but Mali see who the cap fits, let him wear it. Mamu for political issue, money, Abaya, Jimamus, and yet. And can talk there and can look at them on the Democrat. Or be our pattern or do one. Now and then, and the Rebecca said, would ye, who are buying a bank who nipper own himself or bed you at a mouth, and I wouldn't know that.
Okay. Medan say, Mammy Fa, Dorian, Bebacho Majo. You too.
Majority money is my power away.
That's it.
With discussion, and you're very fantastic. Now, Mike, I said, MPP now. I said, I'm a parliamentarian now. Any party is serving a majority. Almost good. MPP in the master. Almost one master. No, I didn't think money can start. You MPs no, almost Jiska. Into no matter second time, many Omujiska. And yes, you say Omujiska. Omaka so much more of baby. I say, Oma and Jiska. Oma, my Juma winner, party na condominium. I so much that's a kind. and can say so Chief Justice we and say come over omumana akonya kurao because you expecting to be enforced so no could you want to concern case busy say o share wo bra wa off some people ama o mind Ghana Republic of Ghana na judge ko so over na o bi na no country parliamentary best o share wo no ninti and wo ma ye sentence will be 7 years Womra open also no so when the Krama Republic na a pedigree the judge no and the MPs now over 188 no majority no only can send and I'm found na mo be Mama Republic no mo MPs no mo se ma boycott mo free because of here for Timo. Hey Mike na odi akacha mbiti ni nsa me say we for education biaba diaspora na election committee for no ye mo warning say ade na election committee ne dia beto ho no say yenye project no ya ji atu omu hwe say your friend say akoya ono okọ UK enra MPP ni no okọ UK no an ono omu hwe kire say omu prince so say
MPP ni be no okọ UK
your friend say virus sisi America so da so UK Majal mikita lete ni BCC omo fe trade ba se omo se adena wonu convincing ko for UK o se there be net take decision no onu se there be or katre omo ewo diaspora for say ntobwani ade o ma ye wo party ni ade na adenti ne yesi emo mo kwan no omo to
okay
body ne so no enu no omo de wi abani
all right
and am telling no te party ni njira yi enti yes any signal one say so omo nim nese omo pese party ni ye course na ye omo fedia odi omo nguso
okay me dan say ma me fa last one Mario
good evening
yes I too you too
Pastor Bright ni am because of fear so kai nyame ensure bebre na onka ho ene edwuma pa o ye se oman Ghana entumpo na me ntia honorable Made Jibril ene original chairman Honorable Ashimo, Nyamenka no papa, Honorable Alaji Yakondo in charge of operation. Only Anka MPP Assembly Anka family by Ushe in Naya or Mine Ganamo. Oman Shea Abronye any ya or yano, a begu or more party no. A futu amidebe more mono. Na yes, Honorable Affinio marking. Set did na or yano, any high now yano. And no Emma Mumba Power 2028. Omunko Tinasi, no more Jinsen, ya, Omu ye two about editor on one and Omaya micro minority, our parliament. Share and net shall my papa Abba, Shasen and Yama Elko ye, our man Ganamo, and now and I'm honorable to force the finance minister, and that dollar, 10 cedi, 50%. I'm a buso company 9 yaji by. Benam se omoye politics e wa boso kan ti omo mpese o beti niama so e de ma customers a e beton ade wa boso kan e na me no ka say petrol a nko MPP time omo ko fa gold for oil buy engineer anti petrol so amfa Ghana for enso enam honorable Afenyo market omo chi 240
okay
omo chi papa omo yenti
medan say Nyankopon enka ho ehana mede eye efreni nyina se mo amofre mo amoche Facebook YouTube channel yadamase mo amuti radio no so pa ne badodo no mo so yadamase mananu fo amuti yadamase engineer nchi boys yakon member of the New Patriotic Party and then they try to our catch o party for
yo near me catch to one say I know say abronye sene a wosi no campaign and I say wosi no politics no never be brain no ha omo entenase but political party bia ebi wom ehia obia nso ewom sabi say sa nema we egu party a nka your mama won't be president Kevin Taylor ne Captain Smart ne nipa bebre juma omudi edi Ghana fo no nka andi sifo nko mo ho manyamta nso ne omotimi aba abamu eno nche se yema kwan ma obi ani atem nti sansam na na nkrofo bi kana omu entwa so eye party delegates NPP4 ye koto aba January 31st ye make actually delegate for ne say ohwe bia ya ko nyina bibia kire say Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia win sa election. Na yempese oba win sa keke. In fact, ye adibi ma Nana Akufo-Addo the year 2014, 2015 tama ye two aba ni eco super delegate. Ye two first one no Nana Akufo-Addo nya about 84%. Unya ye no ye ka kire ne nkrofo mu ne ko Alan Jayo Nana Akufo-Addo na party na di sa de se de ne ko Alan so nya. Ne so okay yenkwe. Ye call general election no and a party in yana ka umubomu and a woman and a Akufo-Addo 95% and or the ebedi partner name for the third term the when 2016. What near country delegate for say yen him said Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and the Bewene obi obato aba Canadian say Brian Champo none of them can beat Bawumia. So let us all put the votes together. Say nyina ye to abano na ye de Emma Bawumia. The message it is going to send to Ghanaians and say the whole party is united behind one person. Senya ye no 2014 no aye to ya man 95% ede man na Akufo-Addo no. It sent a message out to Ghanaians say the whole party was united behind Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo.
Okay.
Enti yebesre se moma ye nyina yemfa abanu mum na yemfa ma Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia na yenkanche Ghana for say we are poised to come back to power and we are ready to govern again, and they know say NPP there we do far better than NDC when we are in power.
It does say Ebusia hana yede eye ne torchlight no yede si oni 100.9 eye nyame pa ochena yebehia Ghana muntie so the Tuesday Media Sada Emma Okokroko Francis. I am a studio assistant. Kwesi Abwadi am a channel manager. Dr. Faradexene, executive producer, fully supported by my general manager. Kennedy Asantio say. Mo mutie me, mo share me. Mo send messages. Yadamase. Ya me yado my best to adwumade so Thursday so yede sanfofro. Yede bebro. Ya me ko bibian DJ Bosco.